A stock 2022 Civic Si makes 200 horsepower. That's a solid number from a 1.5-liter turbo. It's a fun car. But with $1,000 spent intelligently, it becomes a meaningfully different car, quicker, louder in the right way, and more responsive. With $1,000 spent stupidly, it sounds different and goes the same speed. This video is about the first category. The most important principle of budget modding is spending order. On a turbocharged car, the tune comes first. Full stop. Every other modification on a turbo platform is limited by the factory ECU tune, which is calibrated conservatively for emissions compliance, fuel quality variance, and brand reputation protection. You are leaving power on the table with every mile you drive a turbocharged stock tune car. For the 11th Gen Civic Si with the L15B7 engine, the Hondata FlashPro is the correct first purchase. It costs $695. It plugs into your OBD port, installs from your laptop, and uploads an optimized base map in about 20 minutes. On 91 octane, you're looking at 220 to 230 wheel horsepower, a gain of 20 to 30 wheel horsepower over stock. The car feels genuinely different. Response sharpens. The top-end pull extends. Boost comes on faster and stays on longer. That's $695 of your $1,000. With the remaining $305, the conversation changes depending on what you already have. If you're running a stock intake, a quality short ram or cold air intake adds 5 to 10 wheel horsepower in conjunction with a tune. On an untuned car, that same intake adds almost nothing measurable. With a tune, it has value. The good options in this price range are the AEM and Misimoto intakes, which run $80 to $150 and have documented gains. That puts you at approximately $295 spent on an intake, $695 on the tune, total $990, and you're a genuinely faster car. What not to do with your first $1,000? Do not buy a catback exhaust. On a turbocharged car, the performance restriction isn't downstream of the turbo, it's in the downpipe. A $600 catback makes your car sound significantly more aggressive and adds 0 to 3 wheel horsepower. The sound is real. The performance gain is not. Save the catback money for the downpipe upgrade when you're ready for stage 2. Do not buy fake performance parts, throttle body spacers, underdrive pulleys on a modern car, fuel magnets, anything that promises performance gains without a mechanism for achieving them. These exist and are aggressively marketed to new modifiers. Do not buy the cheapest intake on Amazon. Intake systems that don't seal properly or that change airflow geometry in ways the tune wasn't calibrated for can actually hurt power and damage sensors. Your stage 2 path, when you have another $600 to $800, is a cat or catless downpipe. A quality cat downpipe runs $350 to $500. Add a Hondata retune, which costs $100 to $200 through a dealer, and you're picking up another 15 to 25 wheel horsepower. At this point, your Civic Si is making 240 to 255 wheel horsepower from a stock block 1.5-liter turbo. That's a meaningfully quick car. Stage 3, upgraded intercooler, front-mount intercooler upgrade, larger turbo, starts to cost real money and approach the limits of what the stock bottom end handles safely. Don't rush to Stage 3. The Stage 1 and 2 combination is genuinely satisfying performance for most street driving, and it's reliable. The Civic Si platform is one of the more affordable first modification platforms because the support ecosystem, Hondata, quality intake makers, reliable downpipe suppliers, is deep and well documented. There's no guesswork about what works. The community has been tuning these engines since the 10th Gen Si, and the 11th Gen benefits from all of that accumulated knowledge. Your first $1,000, spent in the order described here, will make your Civic Si feel like a different car. That's the whole point. The wider principle here applies across all turbocharged platforms, not just the Civic Si. The tune is the foundation because it's the brain of the system. Every other modification on a turbocharged car is constrained by the ECU's fuel and ignition maps. A cold air intake on a stock tune adds almost nothing measurable because the ECU still limits how much fuel and timing advance it allows. The same intake on a tuned car adds real power because the ECU is now calibrated to take advantage of the improved airflow. This is why the modification order for a turbocharged car is tune first, then hardware. On a naturally aspirated car, the order reverses somewhat. You need actual hardware changes before a tune has anything to optimize. For the Civic Si specifically, the 11th generation's L15B7 engine is a modern direct injection turbocharged 4 that has responded well to Hondata's calibration. The engine management system is sophisticated: variable valve timing, direct injection, electronic wastegate control, and Hondata's maps optimize all of these parameters simultaneously, not just boost pressure. This is why a proper tune adds more than simply turning up the boost would. The community consensus after thousands of documented Hondata tunes is that Stage 1 results are consistent and reliable. 220 to 230 wheel horsepower on 91 octane, 240 plus on E30 or E85, with the stock engine handling these outputs without issues through long-term use. For the Stage 2 downpipe upgrade, stick to a CAT unit for street driving. A catless downpipe adds 3 to 5 additional wheel horsepower over a high-flow CAT, but produces significant exhaust smell at operating temperature and will fail emissions in any state that conducts OBD testing. The high-flow CAT downpipe adds 12 to 20 wheel horsepower with a retune and passes smog where inspectors check by OBD port rather than tailpipe sniffer. For most owners, the CAT option is the right balance. Your total Stage 1 build, $845. Your car, 225 wheel horsepower. That's the honest math. One more practical note on the Civic Si platform that experienced builders emphasize: the stock fuel pump is adequate for Stage 1 and Stage 2 power levels, but at higher power or on flex fuel, a fuel pump upgrade becomes necessary. The Walbro 450 or DW300 are commonly used upgrades, around $150 to $200 for the part. This isn't a Stage 1 concern, but if you're planning a Stage 3 build with E30 or E85, plan for the fuel pump from the beginning. The supporting modification ecosystem for the 11th Gen Civic Si is mature and well-documented because the platform shares significant engineering with the 10th Gen Si, which had several more years to accumulate community knowledge. When you buy a Hondata tune, you're buying access to maps developed across thousands of Si builds. When you buy an AEM or Misimoto intake, you're buying a product that has been tested against the OEM airbox and documented by multiple community members. This is the advantage of a mainstream platform. Every mistake has already been made by someone else, documented, and corrected. For first-time modifiers, this is valuable beyond the obvious reasons. It means that when something unexpected happens, a lean condition at high RPM, a boost leak after an intake install, a cob code you haven't seen before, the answer is almost certainly in the Si community documentation. The Honda tuning community has been publishing technical content online since the late 1990s. The amount of collective knowledge available free of charge is extraordinary. Your first $1,000 in Civic Si modifications, spent correctly. $695 Hondata FlashPro, $150 intake, $155 in miscellaneous supporting parts. Total, $1,000 even. Result: a car making 225 to 230 wheel horsepower with improved throttle response, better top-end pull, and a sound that rewards the driving experience. This is the correct order of operations. Start here.